What's going on, guys? It's your boy James here, Beards and Cars, back with another video. If you guys are new to the channel, thank you for subscribing. If you guys are just stopping by, consider hitting that subscribe button down below. So in this video, guys, this is something a little different I want to talk to you guys about. This is something that happened over this past weekend that I just wanted to share with you guys. So it's real important to keep all your loved ones close and to and to basically show all your loved ones how much you love them. You guys, if you have family members, kids, etc., you have to really. Sometimes with kids can be stubborn, guys. You have to really beat this stuff into their brain how important it is to pay attention in life, and just to do the things that you dish out to them and tell them on a daily basis, whether it can be school or just any type of thing, information that you teach your child, or for that matter. So, and the same thing goes with anybody else. If you never know when something's going to happen, guys, and when your time is come or your time is up. So with that being said, guys, let me get right into this topic of what happened this past weekend. So my son is out of school for summer, and so he wants to go stay with his friend. And so I said, yeah, man, you can go ahead and you can go stay the night with him. Just let me know when you're coming back, or when you want to come back, I'll come pick you up. So his friend has a few siblings, and so basically my son goes over there on Thursday. Stays the night. The next day comes around, it gets around noontime, and of course he texts me and wants to stay again. So I said, yeah, that's fine, go ahead, man. And so now he's been there Thursday night and Friday night. Saturday morning, I wake up to a bunch of text messages on my phone. So I start scrolling through my phone trying to see what's going on. My son's like, Dad, I called you at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I had my phone on airplane mode, so I didn't hear any of this. And then I saw a text message from the kid's mom, also along with my sons, and kind of started reading them, as I just woke up, so my vision's still blurry, I'm tired, and I'm trying to take all this in. So basically what happened is my son's friend, which is 12 years old, his brother is 14 years old, got in a car crash and died in the middle of the night. So yeah, it's unfortunate, and I feel really bad for them. There's just no words can express what kind of emotion, what they're going through right now. I could not imagine that happening to me. I just straight up just draw a blank for things like this. I can't imagine. I've lost a lot of people in my life. I could not imagine losing one of my kids. I hope to God that I go before any of my kids do. But so I don't know the full details, but basically this boy was 14, maybe going on 15, something like that. I don't know the exact age he was. I think he was 14 years old, really close to 15. But he was at a relative's house, and from what I understand, he just wanted to go home. I'm not sure. It was late in the middle of the night. I don't know exactly what happened. But so basically what he did was he took his relative's car, and was driving down some windy roads, and he was driving fast and lost control. And not only did he lose control, he did not have a seatbelt on, guys. So he was ejected from the car. Now, this is important to stress to your kids how important it is to keep your seatbelt strapped on. Now, if he had a seatbelt on, would he still be alive to this day? I don't know. But it could have helped a lot. There's really no telling. But yeah, with that being said, guys, that's the kind of weekend I had. I just wanted to stop in and talk to you guys about this. I know it's way different than any of my other videos, but I just, you guys, if you have a loved one, tell them how much you love them. Get out there, your kids, explain to them how important it is for things like this, man, to strap on that seatbelt, to not be driving a car, especially when you're not supposed to. Nobody knows where you're at in the middle of the night. There's a lot of factors here that go into this that are really important to stress to your loved ones, man. I had a long talk with my son after this, and basically just stressing to him that how important it is that the amount of pain that family's going through. And my son stayed there through this, even while this family was suffering, crying, and everything that they were going through. My son stayed there to help with the other kids in his family for support, which is good on my son. My son has a big heart. It's really hard to do something like that. I could imagine it was really awkward for him to stay there. But he still stayed there and supported his friend through all this. And I know it was a hard time. I know it's a really hard time for them. So my prayers go out to them. I can't imagine dealing with that. I feel so bad, man. I feel so bad. God's plan was different for him. But yeah, like I said, guys, keep your seatbelt on. And if you guys have kids, man, please show them the importance to life of how, just a small talk with your kid can drill that into their brain for something like this. And that's all it takes. Some kids are a little bit more stubborn, so it's hard to push that into their body and get them to understand that, and push it into their mind, get them to understand that deep down. They still never do. So sometimes you just gotta, keep repeating yourself, which I do that a lot to my son. I'll throw it in there, make sure that he's getting that in his brain to the point where he tells me basically, "Hey Dad, you done said that like 5 times. Well, that's because, son, I want you to know I love you, and I need you to know that that's how important it is. So, guys, I just had to share with you guys this past weekend, my experience. I know this has been a long rant. I just really, really would like everybody to reach out and tell that person that they love them. And I really needed somebody else to hear this out here. So if you guys are listening to this and you don't even watch my channel, that's fine too. But just, I really needed somebody else to hear this story. It's not something that you hear every day. It's something you hear on the news. It's not something that happens to a relative or a friend of a friend or a friend of your son's. These things just don't happen that often. So, getting a call in the middle of the night like that is very, it's sad to say the least. So my thoughts and heart goes out to all of these people right now suffering. I know they're in a lot of pain. I spoke to the dad. He was having a hard time keeping his stuff together. I wasn't real sure what to say, but this is my way to respond back. And like I said, guys, keep your loved ones close. Don't ever be too afraid to tell somebody that you love them, because some people are just too manly like that. They can't, they don't have it in them. I tell my son every day I tell my son, hey boy. And he's like, yeah, Dad. I tell him I love you. The reason I do that is because my dad loved me. But even though my dad loved me, he never told me he loved me. Which was just like, which wasn't a big deal back then, but now I think about it, I'm like, man, he never told me he loved me. And if he did, I still don't remember. He might have once, but out of my whole life, he never really told me that. And my dad passed away a few years ago, and still to this day, I don't ever really remember my dad telling me I love you. But I tell my son that every single day. So even if it's 3 times a day, I still tell him I love you. My son's 12 years old, and I know he probably gets tired of hearing that shit. So if you're listening to me, boy, I love you. I know you watch my videos too. Nick, if you're listening to me, I'm so sorry, guys. I know that you and your family are dealing with a lot right now, and I had to make this video just to put it out there for other people. So my condolences, guys. I'm so sorry. And that's all I can say pretty much. So with that being said, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Be careful.